Hi everyone, we're the Casual Ones and welcome to our weekly Dungeons and Dragons live stream with the Punch Drunk Champions. This is your first time watching our stream. Welcome. We do stream every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with our videos going live on YouTube on Fridays. This is I was gonna say a joke and then I just lost it, and it was anyway.
That's so funny.
Just so you know, sometimes we stream other stuff too. If you want to take a look at what we have, again, go to our YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We have a bunch of fun stuff in there. We do like to try out different games and different systems, which is where a lot of that is going to come from. Most recently, we did a take on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles called Barf. Big Al's
Radical
Thank you.
Reptile
Friends. That's what I said.
Yep.
Which was a fun time. It was like something we actually had recorded in person. So if you want to watch something fun, go check that out. But otherwise, we're here and you're here, and that's just really sweet. Also, if you do want to talk more games and stuff like that, we have a Discord channel. Feel free to join that. You can generally find the links wherever Peaches posts them. So that's on him to do that forever. I love you, buddy. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and recap where we last left our heroes. So, the current members of the Punk Drunk Champions, Silas, Charlie, and Lux. You had spent the bulk of our last session in search of grub on the island of Ebonmorn, this mysterious island that had been known to house monsters and the undead. Having unfortunately recently lost your friend Zelmith to the monsters on this island, and you know, he did, you decided to go out in search of Grub, who had gone on some kind of murder spree, taking care of a lot of the monsters on the island, or so it seemed. However, as you did track him down throughout the island itself, you did run into a lot of these kinds of monsters that you had even seen previously in different parts of the world, who had come out of the shadows and began chasing you. You decided to make a break for it west, as you weren't able to pick up exactly where Grub had been, and you came across a hole in the ground, a big old pit. And through some odd, what's the word I'm looking for?
Influence?
Well, influence is good. And compulsions. Lux had taken a special coin that had been given to him by Eumus, the god of luck, and tried to throw it into this pit, but Silas saved it. He said, "No, Lux, you shan't do this." However,
let me do it.
Yeah, once he had the coin, he went, you know what?
I can do this better.
Let's make a wish. And wish he did. And he now wishes, I'm sure, he did not throw the coin down the well. Because once he did, some kind of force began to erupt from this pit, which was similar to what had been encountered in the Vale, this barrier surrounding the island that destroyed all matter that it touched. Over and over again, the Vale regurgitated this destructive energy to the point where you all realized quite quickly you had to leave as fast and as soon as possible. So you ran your way down the island back to the shore, sighting the Astute, the ship that had brought you here in the distance, coming to get you as it was also slowly being destroyed by this barrier, this magical, destructive force. Along the way, you had the quick aha moment of thinking we should get Zelmith's body out of here. However, as you went to where Zelmith's body had been, there was no body left there pick up. On the plus side, you did grab all the items off him before you left him, so
that's all that matters.
It could be worse.
We didn't lose our friend and our riches.
Exactly. And what can money buy? Happiness and friends.
If you have to choose, you know.
Yeah. You're then able to quickly make your way onto the Astute and help row the ship out of the Vale and back towards the continent of Array, where you had originally come from. In doing so, you also discovered, and Captain Patches had confirmed with you, that the veil seemed to be expanding outward. That raised some concerns with you, for potentially good reason, as you have seen firsthand what this magical curtain can do to anything that it touches. You then elected to get in contact with your good friend Timon, and from
Big
there,
T.
Big T, and from there asked for a quick ride to some of your hometowns, so you could warn the people and the government of what was coming. So that is where we're going to pick up for today. Charlie, we're going to start with you. You've recently walked out of Timon's shop as he has dropped you off in Atholito, quite close to your home. Now, my first question, Silas or Lux, are either of you going with her, or are you going directly to Core?
No, I believe we had discussed it that we were going to go to Core and allow Charlie to travel on her own.
Absolutely. All right, so Charlie, what would you like to do?
I'll first start off by going back to my place.
Okay.
All my clothes are essentially shreds, so I need to get dressed before I try and get an audience with the ruling body in Atholito.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll just go home and change and put on some fresh clothes, even though I haven't been home in weeks.
Yeah, no problem. You're able to walk up to your door, using the key, unlock it, you look inside. Luckily, your friend has kept it nice and clean and well kept for you. There's a little layer of dust around some of the areas, but overall it's in pretty good condition, and you hear some squawking coming from the attic, as per usual.
Okay. Yeah, I just go to my bedroom and get a change of clothes, put on something that's not in tatters and scorched.
Okay.
And so I'd like to go see my crows now. I have other things to do, so I'll first go to the church.
Okay. Yeah, so you make your way towards the church, and let me just get my info up here. Okay, are you going to the Church of Venera?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go see Mother Sapphire.
All right, yeah. As you arrive at the church, you do see Mother Sapphire tending to the garden outside. Luckily, at this area, Atholito was always fairly warm, so you're enjoying some nice, I would say early summer type weather. And you see she's out tending to a lot of the flowers that are in full bloom right now. So there's beautiful colors of pink and blue and yellow all throughout the garden. And as you arrive, she kind of looks up as she sees you walking over and says, "Ah, hello, Charlie. How are you?"
Oh, I'm okay. It's been better, but you know, I figured I should try and talk to the people as quickly as I could. So I had a friend get me to Atholito faster.
Oh, what is there to talk about?
Uh, we talked. I sent you the message earlier about Ebonmorn.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
the darkness trying to envelop the world.
Right. Yes, I knew. I was making sure you knew. Certainly. Yeah. So what do you want to do? You said it's like something's destroying something.
Yeah. Don't know entirely what it is, but the veil that's surrounding Ebonmorn is expanding constantly. So my companions went to Core to talk to the royalty and let them know and maybe get their assistance. I figured I'd talk to the Iris board here to see if they would work alongside.
Yeah, you think you can get an audience with the Iris board?
I just like rifle through the bag of holding. We got my up to my shoulder, rifling around, and I pull out the seal from Core that the king gave us.
Oh,
Yes,
that's quite nice. What's
yes, I'm pretty sure this will at least have them take me seriously.
sorry? What is that?
That's the seal from Core for there's a royal task.
Oh, you've been busy. Did you save someone's child or?
No, not the child specifically, more like the city. Anyway, let's just get going.
You want me to come
You
with
coming with?
you?
Well, you're a community leader around here. It's not a bad choice. You're a friend.
Okay.
I could use support.
Sure. And you see, she grabs a staff that's leaning up against the side of the church, and with two hands and leaning a fair bit on it, starts trying to walk with you and kind of keep up. You have to slow down your pace a bit. She is pretty old. But yeah, she begins walking with you. So you would know that if you want to try and get into where the Iris board would usually meet, you want to go to the district of Tucarita, which is the home of the Iris board within Atholito.
Yo, I love the name.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so you begin walking, and as you're walking, she's trying to make sense of a lot of what you're telling her. And like, what is this veil you mentioned?
Kind of think it's like the energy from a god. I think it's a working theory.
Oh, okay.
And not a good one.
Like which one?
I can't remember his name. Not one of the 13? Is that what they are?
What do you mean not one of the 13?
Look, not one of the 13. One that's been banished is the working theory.
Right.
In any case, they're waking up and it's a problem. I've already lost one companion in the last day, and the other one might be dead right now as well.
So you are going to go to the Iris board and tell them that gods are waking up to kill people.
Yeah.
Okay. And just so I know we're not wasting a trip or anything here, is there proof that you have that you can bring, or?
Well, hopefully the seal will give my words some, amount of credibility, but
Okay.
if not, we can always contact Timon, the person who managed to teleport me here. He's more versed in this topic.
I see. Perfect.
A lot's happened since we last spoke.
And you're feeling okay, right? And she reaches up and like puts her like forearm on your forehead. Like trying to keep. You're a little warm.
I don't know. I feel fine. I'm sad. I had, one friend die less than 24 hours ago.
That is unfortunate.
but
life and death it's the cycle.
Yes.
Is there anything that I can do for you? Aside from this, obviously, but...
No, there are priorities, and dealing with Ebonmorn is the biggest right now.
I
So
see.
hopefully, we can have the Iris board take it seriously.
That would be beneficial. Okay. Well, let's, I guess, present this to I've
See
never
if we
been
can
up
get through the
here.
door.
Yeah, that's okay. And she continues walking with you through the district until you come up to this large building that looks like it rises about maybe 2 stories high and then reaches a large dome that's situated over top of it. You can see a lot of it is glass on top. It's a very large skylight. You personally would never have been up here. Political matters up at this level aren't exactly your normal bread and butter, just kind of given your past and where you come from. As you approach, you see there's 2 guards standing in front of this large stone, not even stone, more of a marble double door that is currently, there's one door that's open, one door that's closed. And as you walk up, you and Mother Sapphire approach. You see he kind of looks at you and walks forward and says, hello, yes, can we help you?
Oh, yes. Hello. And I produced the emblem. I'm here on official business from the Royal Court, from Kor. I was hoping to maybe meet with the Iris board. It's an urgent matter.
May I? And reaches for the emblem that you have.
Sure. I'll hand it to him.
He takes it and kind of examines it, turns it over. It does seem to be legitimate. And you've already made an appointment, sorry, or?
No, this is unfortunately urgent, and they need to be gathered immediately.
I do appreciate that it may be a matter of some urgency. However, there would need to be an appointment made, especially to get the whole board into the room. This is...
How long would the wait for an appointment be?
Do you know any of them personally, or is this sort of a first meeting for you?
This is a first time in this venue. But this is a time-sensitive issue. Is there any way that things could be sped up?
With a in-person meeting, most likely no. However, if you like, I can accept a letter and present that to the board.
And I would hear back from them when?
Your guess is as good as mine. Could be days, could be weeks. If I'm just being honest, they're busy. They oversee a lot.
Is there any way that you could pass just a quick message immediately to someone on the board?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, buddy. 16?
16. That's not bad. I can see who's in their offices now, certainly. What is it you're looking for?
Just let them know that the veil from the Ebonmorn Island is expanding and consuming. I have more information.
Okay. And what's the best way to reach you? And if I can get your first...
I'll stand right here. They'll probably want to talk immediately.
Okay. I'll potentially be back shortly. And he turns around and he walks inside.
I just ignore the other guard and start talking to Mother Sapphire just about random shit.
Yeah, no problem.
So how's your daughter?
Oh, she's doing good. It's it's still just needs to settle down properly, but it's you should come
Is
to
your
church and
business
pray
going well,
more. I don't know. Possessions are for the next 20 minutes or so, you're out there speaking with her. Eventually she like brings you over to a bench nearby so she can sit down and doesn't have to try to stand there the whole time. But you do see a guard, the same guard, sorry, that you spoke with come out. And he kind of looks around for you and spots you and walks over. And says, I did pass along the message.
To who exactly?
So I passed it on to Tenethil. He's the head of commerce for the board. He's the only one that's in at the moment. He did say he'd be willing to meet with you early next week.
What day is it today?
You're about midweek. You're effectively on like Thursday at this point.
Okay, well, that's probably too late. And too late because, the veil's expanding and destroying everything. So hopefully it doesn't hit landfall by then. If you need to, I'll give you my address, and I might be in core, or I might be trying to stop the world from ending in Ebonmorn. So I might be busy.
Certainly.
I would have preferred it if you'd, suggested there was some urgency, but,
I passed along the message.
There might not be a whole lot of commerce to be had if everyone's dead.
Sorry, so what's I'll get your name.
Yes. Do you have like a...
Yeah, he has like a whole like book
Yes.
out at this point. And he's ready to.
Charlene Nightsworn.
Does Charlie brush her hair and it goes into the Karen hairdo, or
No.
okay?
He has to speak to his
Had to ask.
manager.
It's Charlene Nightsworn.
Yep.
I might just give him my address, and I'm sure seeing that it's from the slums isn't really great.
He does. You do see him kind of like. Mm-hmm.
If you can't get a hold of me there, you can try the Peacebreaker residence in Core, or the Summer Wards.
Excellent.
I would really prefer it if the council took this seriously, because I would like my home to still be here in a week.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, that is not up to me to decide.
Yes. Well,
I will.
if you could pass along my concern again, that would be appreciated. I'll be in Athleto for 2 more days, and then I'll be in Core.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Nightsworn. And turns and walks away.
Well, I'm sorry that I dragged you all the way up here.
Oh no, that's fine.
Do you want to get a coffee or something? My
Sure.
treat.
Then yes. Are we going
Sure.
from here? We're getting the good coffee?
Yeah. I'm not poor anymore, so that's nice.
Oh. Would you like to make
So-
a donation to the Church of Inara?
About that. Yeah, I kind of let that trail off, and as we walk, I maybe mention the other gods and heading on. Yeah, and find the closest coffee shop or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, and you guys go down and sit down and have a chat about which god's the rockinest. Silas and Lux. Moves his shop door to its normal location, within the market of Core. As the door opens, he says, well, all the best. I'm going to keep searching to see what I can find. Are any of you able to contact me if you need to?
Not by magical means, no.
Hmm.
I suppose my mother may be able to do so.
Okay. Yeah. And he snaps and throws his hand out, and you see, like, you hear, like, the sounds of, like, 3 things breaking as a little stone shows up in his hand. He says, here, and throws it in your direction, and says, that'll work for now. You can contact me through that.
Another sending stone?
I have a bunch of them laying around, so, yeah.
Okay. Pits, are they visibly different from one another?
Yeah, these would
Okay.
have different markings on them, so you
Okay.
are able to see the difference for sure.
Just want to make sure I don't, send a message to my mom to Timon. That's all.
That's
Alright.
fair.
Timon,
Yes.
you wouldn't have those clothes ready. As you can see, mine are a bit tattered.
Yes, I should have something, and he goes and gets some clothes that are probably going to be too big for you, just given the difference
No
in your sizes, but it does give you a change of clothes if you need them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
All right.
Best of luck.
Thank
you need me, let me know.
Thank you once again for the help, Timon. I know that we've imposed upon you quite a bit recently.
I don't mind.
Thank you. And I open the door for Lux. Shall we?
Yeah. I'm gonna put on the clothes. I know they were large, but I'm fucking swimming in these. I just flop my arms in here. God
Just-
damn it.
Show them how to roll up the sleeves, right, and tie them off so that they don't slide down. You gotta Don knots it,
I look
So-
ridiculous.
Well, that notwithstanding, you look like a distinguished old man, Lux. Speaking of that, should we go see the Peacebreakers first, or should we go see my family?
We should probably speak to your family.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
scare you, but we don't know when we'll see them next.
No,
He-
that's why I asked. I thought maybe we can get mother and father's support before we go deliver the news to the Lord Peacebreaker.
Yeah. After you. And
Yeah.
I was just roll, just keeping my sleeves up. God damn it.
And we stop and get a coffee on the way because apparently that's the thing we do now.
Why not? You got the money, why not, right?
Right? Show up with my lead travel mug. But yeah. Yeah, we make our way to the Summer Ward Estate,
Okay.
which is across town.
Yeah. So it does take you a bit of time to walk over there, but eventually you do see your home, which you've left not too long ago. As you walk in, there are several people that kind of give you a nod, just recognizing who you are. One thing you do notice as you're walking through your home and you go through the dining room, you do see that the wall itself has now been fully repaired to the dining room. However, none of the dining stuff is in the dining room. You can see that the hole is actually still there, and you can see there's makeshift railings that have been built around it, and you can see what looks to be a rope ladder that goes down.
There's not
but
enough mending spells in the world to cover up
no,
that.
you can see a lot of tables and people with various different books open that are sort of working in that area at the moment. So,
I mean, free excavation, I suppose. I grabbed the nearest person to me. I'm assuming that there's a bunch of scholarly types and engineers
Absolutely.
and whatnot, moving around. Just grab the nearest person.
yes.
Have you
Oh.
seen my father?
I believe he's in his study.
Excellent. And mother?
I think she's also there. If not, you can check the gardens in the back. I'm not sure, but
I'm gonna make sure I walk loudly. Thank you. Thank you.
you're quite welcome. Yes.
Let's carry on. Come
I was
on,
going
Lux.
to say they do have some catching up to do.
No, we don't talk about that anymore. No. There is a large hole here, Lux. I don't want to lose another friend, but
I've been there, done that.
come on.
Yeah. So
Also,
you
have
make
you ever wanted a sibling?
That's a discussion for another time. There might be one on the way.
They
Plenty of
haven't
time.
fun. But yeah, so you make your way through the house into your father's study. You do see that he actually just seems to be sitting by the fire reading in one of his larger armchairs. And your mother is sort of just lounging on one of the couches in the room.
Yeah.
Got the fire going. It's nice and cozy in here.
Just knock.
Oh,
Mother, father.
hello, Silas. Welcome back. How was your trip?
Did you not receive the message I sent?
And your mom just kind of looks over like, I told you this. Oh. I'm sorry.
The Ebon Morn was more than we were ready for. Well,
Yes.
you might remember Lux.
Hello
Motioned him
again.
in.
Yes.
Maybe you don't remember him. He didn't look like this before.
I'm like looking. I didn't age that much.
You do look older.
I'm just gonna like wipe my hands on my face and then come out and
smooth
look
out the
younger.
wrinkles.
Yeah.
Oh no, he looks absolutely fine. I don't understand the problem.
Well, that notwithstanding,
Hmm.
we have grave news for the Peacebreaker family.
Oh,
We lost Zelmuth. Zelmuth died in Lux's arms on the Evanmorn, and we lost Grub shortly thereafter.
wow. Jeez. Did you bring back do you have his remains?
There were no remains to bring back. Father, there's something happening on the Evanmorn. We found this font or this geyser that into which was dropped a certain object that belonged to Lux, and it just spewed what seems to be entropy or death itself. It's desiccating everything it touches, and it's feeding the veil. The veil is expanding and pushing out from the Ebenmore. We had no choice but to leave. The veil is growing.
Yet. Who have you told?
Sorry, let me recover from my father cursing. First of all, you and
Okay.
our companion Charlie is in Athaleto trying to speak to the Iris Council.
Oh god, good luck with that. Okay. We need to get all of the heads of the great houses together. It sounds like at once. That being said,
I know. I need to go see Lord Peacebreaker.
I don't know if it's better if you do that first or second.
Do you, before we speak to the heads of state, do you not
Yes.
think that
Well, if we want him to be of sound mind.
I'll follow your advice.
Uh,
Yeah. I need to kindly interject, and he needs to know his son has passed. I mean, he cannot hear from the other lords. That would be disrespectful.
I don't disagree. But I worry what he'll do. Okay. I'll arrange to have a meeting set. Probably in 2-hour time. Is that enough time to tell him?
I think so.
Okay.
If anything, it's going to motivate him if I know anything about the man at all.
It'll do something. Okay. I'll begin getting everything ready. In 2 hours' time, we'll have everybody meet at the castle. The king will want to know as well, so we have to do our duty and inform him too.
Of course. The way you speak, should we bring a contingent of protection with us?
No,
Just-
I
you
don't
sound
imagine.
worried.
I'm worried that the interests of Kor will no longer be at the forefront of his mind. Generally, that is what he cares about most. However, when his wife was lost, there was a very clear withdrawal from most people that we saw within Lord Peacebreaker. There was an anger for some time while he learned to deal with the change. I'm not excited at the thought that we may see that side of him again.
We have no choice.
No. And it's good of you to want to do your duty and deliver this news. Go, both of you. I'll begin to arrange things. And your mother gets up and kind of walks over to you as well, and just pulls you in and embraces you.
Right. Just kind of like arms around her for just a second, but then like hands on the waist and just sort of gently push her back. Like there's no time right now.
I know, but I'm sorry.
Come on, Lux. Like hand on the shoulder once again.
Yeah. I'll
be
follow
off.
Silas out. As we're walking, I'll look to him and do I get a hug?
Later. You know what? And I pull Lux in.
Aww.
You'll be okay. We'll get through this.
Yeah, I like your optimism.
Rubbed off from Zelmuth onto me. The voice breaks a little bit, but let's go.
All right. So you make your way over to the Peacebreaker residence, which isn't too far from where you currently are, as you're in the right district already. Lux, where do you want to go? You know the layout.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to his study. That's most likely where he is.
Mhm.
And I'll just gently knock.
Yep. You pass some of the people that work within his residence that you're aware of, and they do confirm that, as per usual, yeah, he is absolutely up in the study. So no one slows you down or stops you. As you knock, you do hear a voice go, yes, enter.
Hey, Gunter to Silas. You ready?
Yeah.
Just before we go in, I'm just going to look at Silas. Listen, no matter what happens in there, it's my fault. And you don't need to take a blame for it.
Okay.
Now push the doors open.
Okay. As you walk in, you see Lord Peacebreaker's sitting behind the desk as per usual, and you can see there are 2 books that are sort of floating in front of him, and then there's one that he's kind of looking up between the 2 and then writing notes in a third that's laying on the desk in front of him. He goes, "Ah, Lux. How are you?"
Could be better.
I can imagine. Where's my son? Where's Elmith? I haven't heard of him arriving back in town, which is actually quite surprising.
I have some bad news, and I think you should hear it from me. We lost Zelmith in Ebonmorn.
What do you mean you lost him?
He died.
He puts down the pen that he's using to write. You see the 2 books that were floating slowly sink down and land on his large desk. He says, "You let him die?"
It was my fault that I let him die. I was ill-prepared, and he went down in battle. I got potions confused in my bag, and he just went into shock, and I didn't have enough time to help him with the other.
What do you mean you got potions confused in your bag?
We had encountered a dragon earlier.
Okay.
And while we were there, we had collected loot, and there was a bottle that looked like a potion, and foolishly I didn't inspect it. I just assumed.
And instead of it helping him, it killed him?
I don't know what happened. He just started convulsing, spewing liquids. I tried to get the real potion that I had in my bag, and it just didn't take.
If I didn't know any better, I would say that you poisoned him and he died. Is that
There's
right?
I cannot prove otherwise. What am I to say to that?
I just want to make sure I have all the facts straight. Where's his body?
That's also another issue. While we were there, looking for another friend on the island, there was a well, and an item was dropped into the well, and the veil started to grow and expand. There were waves of energy that disintegrated everything that it touched. By the time we escaped, Zelma's body had, lack of a better term, disintegrated. I'm gonna pull out Periwinkle. Yeah. And I'm just gonna take a few steps, put it on the ground. That's all I have left.
What was the item that you threw in this well?
I'm gonna look at Silas. It was a coin given to me by Emus.
You threw a relic that belonged to a god into a well on an island full of undead and monsters. My son is dead. And sorry, did you say the veil was expanding?
It is.
At an alarming rate, my lord. We worry that this represents a threat for the world at large.
Hmm. You may both go.
I'm very sorry.
Now.
Like, grab Lux's shoulder, or like elbow. Come on.
Yeah, I'll follow Silas.
I like sort of let Lux out first and just like kind of look back at Peacebreaker. I don't say anything, but I just sort of examine the man for a little bit and just kind of in worry and a little bit of fear. Just to make sure that there's nobody else being sent after us, kind of thing, and watch Lux go out.
Okay. Yeah, he just sort of returns your stare until you go. And as you walk out, the doors quickly shut behind you.
I'm going to look at Silas. I should probably hide for a while. He is, yeah.
You can stay with me, I'm sure. Though that's something I'm going to have to clear with the family. But Lux, you poisoned him.
He needed to know the truth.
I just wish I had have known the truth beforehand. I
And what would
saw
have
him
changed?
convulsing, but I thought that he was just in shock or something. That and I reach forward and I pull Lux in once again. It wasn't your fault.
Of course it was, Silas.
You
I didn't prepare.
you couldn't have known. None of us could have known. Did it look like a potion of healing? The things we use near every day?
Of course it did, but anything could look like anything. I could look like you.
Well,
This
that's
doesn't.
alarmingly true.
Listen. This wasn't your fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. The blame is on me, and he knows it.
I think in time he'll come to see that you made an honest mistake. But, Lux, you've lost a brother. I can't imagine what you're feeling right now. But we have to focus. Zelmith wasn't exactly a paragon of focus himself, but we have to stay on task here for his sake and for Grub, because we can't leave that smug green little bastard to die on that island. Granted, maybe it's the way he would want to go, but I'm not going to let that happen to him. We've got to do something. It looks like we're going to have all of Core and potentially Athelito at our backs. We're going to make this right.
Let's just head back. Let's just get through this meeting, and we'll figure out a plan.
Yeah, you're right. And the sullen, heavy steps back back up the block.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to do while you kill time before the meeting with the Great Houses?
So I know that we're up in like Lakeside Hills, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So for us to get down to the bazaar is just going to take way too long.
It's not all too long. Probably about I believe it's a 20 or 30-minute walk because the market's sort of in the middle.
Okay. More than anything, I just actually want to go and purchase like a handful of healing potions for each of us, only because Silas realizes just how unprepared he actually was during this, and I want to like just fill the belt. Like, no more friends that are going down on my watch.
Okay. Give me one sec.
I mean, in actuality, like we don't have to RP that if you don't want, but like just the idea is that I would like to go and purchase a number of potions. And
You can spend some time, for sure, and you can definitely spend some time trying to buy some potions. That being said, potions aren't always readily available. With what we have, your best bet you would know would be to go to Elegance, which is where you'd gone previously, to get some of the potions. Let me double check what they would have. Give me one sec, sorry. All right, so on stock right now, all that she would have would be 4 regular healing potions.
Okay, yeah. For now, that's what I'll buy, and then I'll just inquire as to when she may have more in stock, because I'll be interested in purchasing.
Okay, she does say it would probably take her about another week or so before she would have more that are actually brewed and ready to go.
Okay, fair enough. But what do I owe her?
Give me 1 second.
Discount for buying in bulk?
This funny guy.
I've been playing too much Cyberpunk.
I thought so. So because you're buying them in bulk, 180.
180 gold? Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. Just think of her business and just like, come on, Lux.
How do you know?
I stare at them the whole time I'm walking, like it's a phone.
I'm just gonna keep just staring at like people and just kind of memorizing people's faces just in case.
Okay.
You never know.
All right, no problem. Yeah, so you're all able to kill the rest of your time before the meeting with the Great Houses. But eventually you do make your way over to the Coronet Castle in the center of Kor. Similarly to the last time that you were here, you are led through the series of hallways that are sort of at a bit of a side entrance before being brought into the throne room itself. You see that the king is sitting up on his throne as per usual, and this time the doors themselves are all sealed once you are in and the other members of the Great Houses are in. And then you see a faint shimmer run along the doors and the walls and the windows as the head of the Moman House, who are the main arcane leaders in this town, sort of turn back towards the king and nod. And he puts his hand forward towards your father. And Mason goes, "Thank you, everybody, for joining us on such short notice. As you can see, we do have 2 of the members who had been sent to Ebonmorn to investigate some of the rumors and monsters to see exactly what was going on there." And as he begins explaining the situation, you sort of look around and you see everybody is in here, including Lord Peacebreaker, who Lux, you notice quite quickly, is staring directly at you.
Daggers.
With no hint of a smile on his face. And your father says, I was given a lot of this information secondhand, but Silas, if you will, I would like to have my son recount the events, just so we all understand what we're up against and we can plan accordingly. Silas, you have the floor.
Like, stand up and push out the cape. Stand up. Kind of awkwardly fidget a little bit. And lords and ladies of the great houses, thank you for coming to meet us on such short notice. I wouldn't have asked my father and your majesty all to do this if this wasn't of the utmost importance. We were tasked with reconnoitering, however that's said, the Evanmorn, to discover why the Veil exists and if there was any sort of reason for exploring further. I'm here to tell you that the Evanmorn is more dangerous than we could have possibly perceived. As soon as we set foot upon the island, we were attacked by creatures that were both fiends and undead. We were ambushed by several undead, during which my dear friend Zelmuth was taken down and killed. Our other party member, Grub, was lost shortly thereafter. In an effort to try and find him, we explored another portion of the island, and we found a font or a geyser that seems to spew forth entropy or death about this island, leading to the desiccation of everything that's on there. And not only that, shadow creatures abound. This place is absolutely cursed. But this font of entropy is feeding the veil, and it's growing at an alarming rate. It expanded almost what we would say, like probably another third of the size, right? In the time that we were there. It nearly destroyed the ship that we had journeyed there on, and only by the grace of the gods themselves were we able to escape. The veil continues to expand. Even as we sailed away, it chased after us. Given the rate of expansion, it is going to hit the mainland within the week. And it shows no sign of slowing. This geyser, Lord Peacebreaker, I'm so sorry, but there was not even a body to bring back for a proper burial. This armor I wear is a day old, or 3 days old, and it has aged many, many years. We need all of you to understand and to rally behind us to help us find a way to stop this. Because all of Athleto Core, this whole continent, is going to perish if we don't stop it.
You see the individual from House Momin, Aldrich Momin, who is wearing this gleaming white and gold plate mail with a golden cape around his back. Says, "Hey, this does sound concerning. Rimburn, can you take a look?" And you see an individual who's clad more in blues and greens, these very nice robes, looks over at the king and says, "With your permission, sire?" And you see the king nods, and then you see, like, he's gone. And it's like almost collapses upon himself, and he's gone from the room. And everybody is just kind of standing there, and you can see everyone's really absorbing what you had just said. And then you hear the slight sound of like a in the air, and you see the same individual's back. He says, what he says is true. The veil itself absolutely seems to have increased in size. I don't know how we want to handle this. And you see Lord Peacebreaker, who's kind of been staring still daggers into Luck, says, well, I think it's clear that there's something that needs to be done, but with your agreement, of course, sire, I would take these individuals off of the Ebonmorn development, as clearly they do not seem to be able to handle even the most basic instructions of reconnaissance on an island. Instead, they've lost 2 of their members, one of which is my son, who, as they have said to me twice today, there's no longer any body to recover. I don't see any reason why we'd continue to have these investigating these matters. Because, quite frankly, they are the cause of this right now, and I see them as a danger to this. You see the king's kind of thinking with his hand on his chin, says, I do agree. We will
Send more
find-
men to their death.
As you say that, Lord Peacebreaker looks over at you and says, I don't think it's going to be all that difficult to find people slightly more capable than you. How long were you on that island for before my son died?
You had faith that your son was able to handle himself as well, did you not, Lord Peacebreaker?
I had faith in all of you, and I do not now, as I have no body of my son to even bury. And he turns and he starts walking out of the room. And your dad kind of puts your hand on his shoulder. He says, it was well said, but we do have other individuals, other groups that we have worked with in the past that we will probably turn to at this point. What I would say for now is, obviously this has everybody's attention. And he looks over, he says, Grimburn, I'm right to assume you're going to begin tests probably immediately. And you see the individual who had disappeared and reappeared says, yeah, it's something that's going to have to be done, so might as well start now. It's, yeah. Can we go? I'm going. And then he just kind of takes one step as if to turn, and then he's just gone.
Just seems like perhaps we could have sent him in the first place as opposed to setting us up for failure.
Do you really think that you think I had set you up for failure?
No. But if we had somebody with the capability to travel that distance that quickly and make an assessment as he did, I'm sorry, it's just... Zelmuth would still be here.
It doesn't mean that he can pass through the veil. And we were the ones that made the mistake of not being prepared.
There's much that I can't speak about, but I hope that you can understand that there are more things than just an island that needs investigating for people of that power to do. He helps keep this land safe from many threats, a lot of them not even on this plane. There are more things, and an island that, from all the information we had heard and we had gathered, should have been something you were able to look at from a distance, or even if you did make landfall, which we had expected as well. We had no reason to believe that with the abilities that you all had, that none of you would make it back. I had faith in you, and I still do.
I don't know what to say. I've just lost 2 out of the first friends I've ever made. Nothing's going to fix this. But if your people can stop this, then they need to move now.
And I don't think that there's anybody from our house that can stop this. We don't have that ability. This is going to be up to the other houses. We are very well adept at martial capabilities. That is our specialty. That is our forte. And I'm sure if
Roll
you
the
could,
shoulder, remembering. Yeah.
I'm sure if you were able to attack this thing head on, then yes, we would be out there in the fray. But this fight, certainly not my fight.
I don't know whose fight it is. Lux, you heard the whispers, right?
Yeah,
There's
unsettling, but there's the coin I mentioned earlier. It wasn't allowed to pass through the veil. It was like the veil was keeping it at bay. Maybe because it was on my person, it was allowed to pass through there, but I lost my ability to communicate. And whatever is on that island, whatever's in that well, is stronger than anything we could ever imagine.
some insidious influence. It encouraged Lux to toss the coin in, and I stopped him. But the moment I held the coin, it influenced me, and it suddenly seemed not only like the right thing to do, but like it was my idea the whole time. And
It in and of itself is worrying as well.
just the people that are handling this need to be aware of the risks. Sure, they might be more powerful, stronger, more experienced than us. That's fine. But they need to be prepared.
Timon mentioned that he had done some studies in the past about a god that was just, just an idea, the opposite of creation. And that's what it felt like when we were experiencing those waves, the opposite of destruction. Maybe there is a god in that well, or I don't know.
You see the dwarven individual in the plate and the golden cape sort of walks over and says, "Hi, what are you talking about in regards to is there a god of destruction? There's no god of destruction."
Step foot on that island, Sir Dwarf, and tell us you don't believe that.
Very well might be where I'm going next. Or at least people from my house.
There is some sort of insidious influence on the Evanmorn. Something that lies deep below the island that just seems to want to cause nothing more than destruction. Not even death. That there was nothing dead on that island. Everything was undead or fiendish. It's just destruction without cause, without reason.
Oh yeah, that is worrying. I'll give you that. Thank you. And you see he kind of puts his hand up to the side of his head a little bit. And as he's walking away, you hear him go, Renburn, I think you need to get me out there too. And you see him kind of walk down out of the chamber and around the corner. Son, would you like to go home? Or is there somewhere else you need to be? I will try to smooth things over, and I mean, if this island is somewhere you want to go back to, I can see if that's possible.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know. We retreated. I hate to use the word, but we retreated back here with the sole purpose of making everybody aware. We planned to meet up with Charlie, our other companion, in 3 days' time to discuss what we have done here and to discuss further action. So, home for now, I suppose. But listen, and I sort of step closer. Lord Peacebreaker holds Lux at fault, and it's been made very clear to me by his body language and those horrible eyes that he plans on making Lux pay for his loss. And I can't allow that.
I understand. He can stay with us, remain under my protection. Alsathas might be... Listen, he might be angry, he might be even vengeful, but even in all his emotional outbursts, he would not move against another house. He wouldn't risk that and the instability it would cause. He can stay with us. Outside of Core, I don't know. I will try and speak with him, but...
I appreciate that.
Of course.
If it does cause too much problems, just let me know. I can take care of myself.
It's fine.
I could really just use a hot pot of tea.
Let's go home.
That's you, Lux.
All right. Then you guys turn and make your way back towards the Summer Ward estate. Charlie. So the coffee you had, first of all, delicious. Eventually,
Better be. It costs like $10.
Yeah. It's the best Starbucks you ever had.
Yeah.
Is that a little caramel in there?
Yeah.
Macchiato.
Little cat poop?
Eventually, though, Mother Sapphire does state often that, she really does miss her church and her garden, and it's nice to get out sometimes, but, there's just so many flowers that need tending to and plants that need watering. And
I understand. Thanks for coming here with me. I
of course.
expected more from the board, but I guess this is why the slums don't get a lot of attention.
That's probably a lot to do with it. Just give them time. They'll probably send someone to confirm it or something, and it'll be
I'm just
all
worried
right.
we don't have time.
What's this?
Just in case, be prepared to go east.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know how long it'll be for the Veil to reach landfall.
Well, good to know. I'll probably just stay in the church. I don't travel like I used to, you know?
Well, tell your daughter, and maybe the people who go to your church, just so they are aware that they might need to leave quickly.
Okay. I will do so. Thank you, I suppose. Good luck.
I'll be in town for a couple more days,
Okay.
so I'll swing by before I leave.
And with that, she heads back in towards the church. And where would you like to head?
I'll just go to like the nearest like apothecary to just fill up on my supplies.
Okay.
I've used a ton of charges from healing kits, and I'm basically out of potions. So,
All right. Yeah, you're able to go and do a restock run if you like.
Sure.
Give me one sec here. Are you going to Laughter's Breath? That's where Locke is.
Sure, if that's the nearest one.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I would say once you're back in your district for sure.
all right.
Yeah, so you see
I'll support local business.
let's get well, I mean you end up seeing Mother Sapphire's daughter Locke, who's in the shop and looks and says, "Oh, Charlie. Welcome, welcome."
Thanks. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, I didn't know you were in town.
It was sudden, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd suggest just maybe talk to your mom later today.
What?
I told her the whole story. There's a lot, and I'm in a bit of a rush, I suppose.
Okay, sure. What can I get for you? What do you need?
I just need to like restock on everything. It's been a crazy couple days.
Okay.
Just take off my bat utility belt, and you see like half of it's empty.
Yeah. Wow. You've been busy. That's busier than normal for you, no?
Yeah. But
Okay.
about the same survival rate.
That's good, right? Oh.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple days.
I apologize then.
It's unfortunate, but it's part of life.
It's sure is.
How much do I owe you for everything?
Give me one sec. So she does have, just so you know, 2 regular healing potions and 1 greater.
Sure.
So
Do
you
that and top up all my healing kits.
Yeah. I'm trying to. How many healing kits are you looking for? She currently has 5 in total.
I am down to. I'll grab 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
So. And bad math on my part. So you'd be looking at about 400 gold for the lot.
Okay. I just reach into the bag of holding and oh, there's 40 platinum on the table.
Has your work become more lucrative?
Things have been changing in the last couple of weeks. There might have been, a job for core and a dragon. But you know, it's
What?
fine. That was the easy bits.
Oh,
Yes, I've just come back from Ebonmore, and it's quite quite a desolate place.
I think I've heard stories about that place. That's that island, right?
Yes, the one
Oh,
with nobody going to it without people dying, that kind of thing. And
didn't know it was that bad,
that's
but jeez. Okay.
yes, well, yeah. I lost two companions while there, and I was there a day.
Oh,
Yes, so not great.
oh. Uh, I'm so sorry. Um, that seems really tough. Are you okay?
I'm managing, but it's mostly just because if my feet stop kicking, I'm going to drown. And I'm
Oh,
trying not to have everybody in Atholito be affected as well.
fair. Damn, that's a lot. If there's
It's
anything I
good to
can
see you.
do, it's good to see you too. Do you want a hug?
Sure.
And she comes out from around the counter and just like does like a full embrace for you and just
Yeah, it's just kind of like a hug, but there's not much commitment to it.
Just just a little tap on the back.
Yeah, it's just like thanks, but you know, it's
Get
not
off
going
of
to
me.
fix the problem.
okay. All right. Well,
Like putting a band-aid on a sucking chest wound.
um, yep. That's it.
I'll,
That's what
I'll
I
be
got.
I'll be in town for 3 days. In case I need to come back again or you need to talk, but you know where I'll be.
Okay. See you then.
It's
Later,
good to see you.
Gator. You too.
In a while, crocodile.
Hey. Oh man, this is awkward.
I put back on my utility belt and I
Yeah.
just walk out.
All right. Cool. By the time you make it back home, you notice that there is when you walk in through your door, there's a letter that's been slipped under your door.
Okay, pick it up, inspect it. Just is this filled with some sort of poison dust? No. All right. Yeah, I'll open it.
You notice the seal on the back is actually the seal of the Iris board.
Okay.
And the letter basically says something to the tune of, "We have received the information in regards to Ebonmorn. Investigations are currently underway. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention. If you need to contact or explain anything further, please reach out to Tenethil of the Iris Board." And it's signed by Tenethil himself.
Okay. There's no method to get in touch with him?
Nope.
Maybe it's invisible ink.
Shake the envelope out.
Uh
Find the birthday money.
oh, stupid men. Hmm. What time of day is it at this point?
At this point, I would say probably like late afternoon, like 3 p.m. or so.
Sorry, what was that?
It's like 3 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll put back on my jacket, which I was half taking off anyway. With the letter, I'll just make my way back uptown.
Yeah, no problem. You end up walking your way back through to...
I walk a bit faster than I was when I was with Mother Sapphire.
Easily done. You're not old and decrepit. But yeah, you get up there in a lot less time. And you take the more direct path instead of the scenic route. And eventually you see the same guard is standing outside and says, oh, you've returned. I heard there was a letter delivered. Are you looking to... That's the one. Can I just see that for a quick second? Sorry, just need to inspect it.
Sure.
Takes a look at it and kind of reads it over closely and says, okay, I'm going to bring you in to meet with Master Tanathil.
That sounds great.
You're not really
pushing this
dressed
up.
for this kind of meeting. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's okay.
Do you want me to dress up?
I don't
What's
care.
appropriate?
For you, you might want to dress up for you, maybe. Usually people are usually much,
Do you want me to
better-
wear a dress? Is this what's happening here?
What? No. It's just your your clothes are,
Clean?
you know what they are. We can just go in. It's fine. Your clothes are probably fine. It's,
That's what I figured.
yep, all right. He starts walking in, and as he's going in, he's like, this wasn't like a wear a dress thing. It's just most people like are in, suits or nice robes or something when they come to meet. And I'm not saying that what you're wearing is bad or even poor looking. It's just the aesthetic might not be there. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's, and not in like a bad way, just in a this is your first impression with an Iris board member.
I really don't care. I'm more concerned about, surviving than wearing nicer clothes.
You know what? I respect that. Anyway, here's his office here. You can just he kind of knocks on the door and opens it a bit, and you hear a voice from inside go, yes, come in. And as you walk inside, you see a very, very well-kept desk, like zero clutter, large oak desk sitting like 3/4 of the way into the room. A large window to the back behind, and you can see that the walls themselves are adorned with art of the actual city of Athalito, but as if taken from afar. So you can see the sea sort of, and like the waves at the bottom, and then like Athalito kind of up atop a cliff where it sits. And you see behind the desk is what looks to be an either elven or a half-elven man. You're not 100% sure. With spectacles on that are sort of sitting down near the end of his nose. He's sort of balding on the top with like grayish hair running down the sides. Currently, he just has a nice white button-up shirt with a black vest over top. And he's sitting behind the desk. You can't really see what kind of pants he's wearing. But as you walk in, he looks up and says, "Ah, yes, you must be Charlie Knights. Sworn. Yes.
Charlie's
Welcome.
fine.
Welcome, Charlie. How do you do? I received your message. And I gotta be honest, when I first received that, I thought that it was bullshit. Now, though, we have scout reports that seem to make this a little more problematic.
Credible?
Yes. Please understand that being a emissary of Core didn't necessarily help the case so much, but we're
I
here.
am a citizen of Atholito.
I understand that now. Excellent. So why don't you tell me about what's going on?
Okay. I helped the royalty and nobility in Core a week ago or so to deal with a significant problem with my
Right.
companions. One of them was a summer ward, another one was a peacebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And after we were given seals from the king, he tasked us with going to Ebonmorn for some scouting to see what was happening on the island. We made landfall and everything went to shit.
Mm.
2 of the 5 people are, one's definitely dead, the other one's missing.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes. The one who's dead is the son of Peacebreaker. So that has its own problems.
What?
And then when we were searching for a
Hold on.
4th member who's missing,
Hold on.
fortunately, it's not the biggest issue.
Hold
Let
on.
me finish.
Nope. What's the name of the peacebreaker that passed away?
Zelmeth.
I've gone drinking with him. He was a nice fellow.
Yes, he was great. He was even like calming down on the alcohol.
What?
Yes. Anyway,
Yes.
when we were searching for our other party member who'd gotten separated, we came across a endless pit. That's the most apt way to describe it. Bottomless. And some sort of, I don't know if it's necrotic or just like destructive energy was pulsing out of it and pushing the veil regularly. In the room, is there any kind of map of like the continent?
Yeah, he does have one that's up on the wall, immediately to his left.
I'd just go over to it and I said, when we started, the veil was like this.
Right.
When we left, it was like this, and it'd been a day. And it was expanding very frequently.
It's worrisome.
Yes, because it was destroying everything, every pulse. I barely made it out of there alive.
You know,
And we're much closer than Core.
Unfortunately, I am aware of that. Do you know if Core has been alerted to the situation?
The other 2 surviving members, the Summer Ward and a retainer from the Peacemakers, went back to Core to tell their royalty and nobility. I tasked myself with trying to move this behemoth of a city.
Okay, so you went with a peacebreaker and a summer ward to a haunted island, put something in a bottomless pit, and now a destructive veil is expanding, threatening us all.
This guy gets it.
Aside from 2 people either dying or missing, yes, that's pretty much it. We killed a dragon before we made landfall. That's been my last 4 days. How about you?
I was doing some traveling.
This guy's my favorite.
I was on vacation. It was nice, honestly.
Yes.
But it was my turn to stay behind. It sounds like... Okay.
I'd prefer it if we didn't drag our feet and did something about this immediately. But I have heard whispers that the board can be horrendously slow at doing anything.
At times, yes. Here's my question. What exactly would you have us do?
Well, hopefully work with Core to try and resolve whatever potentially godlike event that is happening on Evanmore.
Okay. Do you think we just go in, maybe send some people, fight a god, save the world?
Well, you could always contact Core first and work with them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be the first step.
Maybe figure out a plan as like a group. But yes, not having everything that we love and know die would be nice.
Okay. I like it. I'll get to work on it.
So I can contact Mason Summerward and let them know that Athalito is actually going to help.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the last time I had met with the, I guess the now late, Zelmith Peacebreaker was brokering trust and treaty, between at least the board and his house, so I guess I'm reaching out to Lord Peacebreaker and we're gonna figure something out.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna be really upset.
I'm going to agree. And I'll tell you now, I'm not looking forward to this conversation, but if what you're saying is true, which I'll be honest, I'm mostly there, but I'm not all the way there, it's got to be done. Well, and he kind of puts his hand on the arms of his chair and pushes himself up, stands up, reaches his arm across the desk, says, "Pleasure to meet you, Charlie.
Yes. Likewise,
take it
I was
from here."
expecting this to be horrible.
Oh, well,
You.
I'm one of the good ones. Who
That's
doesn't
good to
like
know.
the person who deals with all the money? Like a
Well.
banker extraordinaire.
Warn me before I meet the bad ones.
Sure.
I'm gonna be in Athalito for a couple more days, and then I'm meeting my companions in Core. So you can come along if you want.
Nope.
It's gonna be much faster.
I'm not going to go to... Well, I mean, unless he asks me to go to Car, I'm not going to Car. I can talk to him from here. It's fine. We can coordinate from
Okay.
here. I appreciate it. But no thank you.
Okay.
Man.
You need anything else from me before I leave?
If
You
I
know where
do,
live.
we'll send another letter. Perfect. All right. Thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.
And you see he puts his spectacles back on. Starts writing. And
Say my goodbyes and walk out the door.
okay. And with that, as you head back out of the chambers and back towards your small but cozy home, and with Silas and Lux now camping out in the Summer Ward estate to help keep Lux safe from potential repercussions of poisoning someone's child, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight.
Definitely thought Charlie was getting arrested. 100% thought she was going to get arrested.
I brought that big Karen energy today.
Yeah. No, but it was the let me get this straight. You did this thing and now the world's ending. Seems like I should throw you in prison. fully what I expected.
That doesn't stop the world from ending. So
No, but it does
You're
make you
welcome
feel a
for the
lot-
advance notice.
It does make a bureaucrat feel like he did something, though.
Excellent. Well, just want to say thank you everybody for coming out. We're the Casual Ones. We stream every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with our VODs going live on Fridays. Hope to catch you on the next one, or on this one, and on any of the ones previous if you like. Otherwise, though, have yourselves a great night, a wonderful weekend, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Spend
Bye.
good bets.